I, really been thinking about this a good amount. What are some of the most common things that, people really, miss at or make the mistake of when it comes to speed development? And I think number one, to be quite honest with you, is just taking a step back from sprinting, right? Just not actually doing sprint work, I think is the most common mistake, right? I see, especially for any older sprinters out there, right? There's a lot of guys that are, still in their teen years, high school years, stuff like that, college years that watch this channel. Most of you guys, I would say, do not have that issue as much as once it gets into like the later 20s, and still wanting to be able to, mid to later 20s, still wanting to improve speed, not doing a lot of actual sprint work though, right? And that becomes, working at a, 70% pace, 80% pace, 90% pace, 100% pace, and just having different structures that allow you the opportunity to still run on a consistent basis. I think that's the number one mistake. Not running enough, not working enough on the start, not working enough on the drive phase, not working enough on the top end speed phase. And it's something that I've struggled with as well myself. That's why I know that this is an issue, because it's a lot harder as you get older to be able to actually get yourself into running at a track or finding an opportunity to be able to make that work. So I get it. It's something that you got to be able to work through, but it's something that's super important in order to actually develop your top end speed and get better times and be able to really maximize the time that you're utilizing working out, whether that's in the weight room, doing plyometrics, things like that. Those all need to carry over to your actual sprint in order for you to get the results. And so if you're not putting those in, if you're not doing some type of workout to improve maybe your start, and then actually working on your start, or doing a workout to improve your top end speed and then actually working on your top end speed, you're not going to get the same type of results. So that's going to be the number one thing. The number two thing when it comes to speed development, in my opinion, is not utilizing the hips correctly. And what I mean by that is we have Christian Coleman here, and he does just such a great job of, as he's coming through, really getting his hips out in front and maintaining a great position within his spine. Even, his training partner here, you can see he's way further back with his hips, right? He's probably a pretty fast guy himself, runs good times. I don't know exactly who he is, but, you could see the difference in where Christian Coleman is with his body. And, there's a lot of things that can come into play here when it comes to, again, the speed development side, right? How much are you utilizing your hips during the exercises that you're doing, whether that is, good mornings, deadlifts, squats, Nordic hamstring curls, whatever the case may be. How much are you actually getting your hips involved, and how good of a relationship do you have with your hips in comparison to, your lower back, and in comparison to really your feet and your ankles, and being able to sync that up correctly. So, you have to be able to work on how well you're able to actually connect those hips with your ankles to maintain a great position there, and also your hips with your lower back to make it so you can fully utilize the power and the force potential that are in those specific muscle groups. If you're not utilizing your hips properly, if you're keeping your hips back, right, now that allows you and your body to not generate the same types of force, to not generate the same type of speed, to not be able to really utilize all of the muscle tissue that you have to be able to help you run fast. So, you really want to put a priority on being able to better access your hips and being able to find a great position in your spine to be able to do that. And again, this is why, working on your sprint, we're going to go back to that, is critical, because you have to be able to implement your hips into the actual movement pattern. Again, that's with your start, that's with your drive phase, that's with your top end speed. I see a lot of breakdowns of people that have their hips too far back, or they get their hips too far forward too soon, right? That also would look like their spine just popping straight up, right? Not having a proper drive phase, okay? And so that ends up being the issue, right? You're not utilizing your hips to the best of your ability because you really haven't worked on it. You really haven't done the work that's needed to be able to improve your top end speed, to be able to improve your drive phase, and to be able to improve your start. And because you haven't put in that work, you could see that by the inability to utilize your hips, the inability to access your hips, and maybe even a lack of training to really understand, how important those hips are when it comes to running fast. So again, those are the two biggest mistakes to me when it comes to improving and developing your speed. I hope you guys aren't making those mistakes within your own training, but if you are, the good thing is it's very, very easy to be able to fix those. So train your hips, sprint more, get after it. Those are going to be two ways you can get faster right away. I will say, with just a bit of a rant here to end it, I started doing this 28-day speed program, and I'm really disappointed in how little people actually participate. Like all you guys are looking for these different programs to be able to get into to hopefully improve your speed, I'm guessing, and there's just not a lot of people that are signing up and actually getting after it on a consistent basis. There's some people that do, but it's probably like 10%. Right? And that ends up being the biggest issue to me, again, is, actually committing to improvement, whether that be a certain part of your speed or just speed in general, or even just self-development in itself, right? You have to commit to self-development. You have to commit to something that's going to take you from point A to point B. And, if you're not committed to it, if it doesn't matter that much to you, then don't sign up for it, right? Like don't act like you're going to make time for stuff that you're not going to actually do. Either you're going to do something, you're going to sign up, and you're going to make a commitment and do that, right? This is just general life, and then go through with that, or don't, right? Don't go and say, I'm going to do something and then not do it. It's just not a good habit. It's not a good look. It's not a good feel. It doesn't build your confidence. It doesn't build your self-esteem. It doesn't make it so other people look at you with a large amount of value and a large amount of, like trustworthiness. Right? You want to be trustworthy. You want to deliver for yourself, right? Because then that you can have the confidence to be able to continue to build, to continue to get better. And so, my recommendation is like, if you're going to sign up for something, do it. Make that commitment to do it. It's a free thing. This isn't something that you have to do by any means. But if you're signing up, you might as well do it, right? And so that would be, again, that's just my quick rant here to end the video. If you haven't signed up for the 28-day speed program and want to get faster, I'd highly recommend doing that because it will help you get faster. It will make you faster if you sign up and if you commit to it. But if you just do it and then you want to look at the program and then not really do anything, then you're really not going to get great results. All right? So as always, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.